Howdy there folks, this is Lapidary Dave, and right now I want to review for you the Highland Park Model 6 6-inch trim saw. I got this machine during the 2019 Gem and Mineral Show while I was working for Highland Park, mostly doing video editing stuff. This machine is extremely well built, made with some fantastic components. I even had Sherman Rollins sign the machine. It might seem a little nerdy, but I like that kind of stuff. This machine has a 1/4 horsepower motor, is running at 110. To add oil to this machine, you actually have to take off the table. This machine is made to use oil. Some really nice components there when it comes to the arbor. It has a little valve there that seals up everything. I'm actually using baby oil here, which I totally hated. After you put the oil in, you can put back on the table. You can use that valve at the bottom to remove the oil when you're finished to keep everything clean if you're interested. This machine is being sold online by Highland Park with free shipping. There's a little bit of information on the website, and it's going for $595. Here I'm turning on the machine to make sure I didn't add too much oil. Now let's cut something. Alright folks, I'm back here in my studio. It is way too windy outside to get any decent audio on this video without having to overdub. I want you folks to hear exactly what this machine sounds like. I'm going to be cutting this piece of jasper, this piece of amethyst, and this beautiful piece of Yukon Jade. It should be a good example of what this machine can handle. I think I'll start with the jasper. Let's do this. Super duper quiet. Nice. No problem at all. I gotta say, I love this little splash screen. Almost all of my saws don't have one of those. Next, I'm gonna saw up this beautiful piece of African Chevron amethyst. Kinda have to do it one-handed for you folks to see well. Alrighty. If you folks don't mind me saying, that took a little bit longer than I normally would have taken to cut this thing, since I was pushing it with one hand. I didn't want to have any tags at the end of the stone after cutting it, like I did on that piece of jasper, so I went a little bit slower right before it ended. Nice. And last but not least, this piece of Yukon Jade. I think I'm going to move the camera just a little bit, so that you folks can see a little bit better when I'm using two hands. This piece of jade is about the width that this saw can take. No problem at all. Like nothing. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and try to cut this piece of jade in half. Hopefully it holds up. It's not the highest quality piece of jade. All right. The jade did break, but that's the jade's fault, not the saw. As you can tell, I didn't necessarily cut this the straightest. It probably started at an angle. That's why it's thicker down here and thinner up here. But I gotta say, I love this saw. All right, folks. So after a year of use, she still kicks butt. Absolutely love this saw. Me and Ruben Medina behind the Kachina and a few of our apprentices, students, and friends have cut thousands of pieces on this machine. And we are still using the very same blade that it came with. The paint's chipping off here and there from the green table. And I actually broke the table, and it was lifting from leaving it out in the snow, like a not so wise person. It was totally my fault. I've never seen anything like it. It was just frozen from using throughout the night here in Taos, New Mexico. It gets very, very, very cold in the wintertime. And this table broke and lifted. I was going to contact John or Sherman Rolland and see if I could buy another one of these tables. They'd probably give anyone who bought one of their machines one for free. But my grandfather, who didn't want to wait around to get another one, actually bent it back down, and it works great now. But it's not Highland Park's fault. It was totally my fault. I was very, very not too smart by leaving a lot of tools out in the wintertime. I love this saw. Still kicking. I have since stopped using oil. Sherman Rolland told me to use oil with this machine. This machine was designed for oil. But I am a savage lapidary and I use water. Me and my grandfather prefer water. We even use water on our slab saw. I feel bad for abusing this a bit, but she's still kicking butt over a year later. I love this old girl. She's going to outlive me, probably outlive a few more generations, especially since these motors are so easily replaced. All right, folks, we're going to make 3 cuts. One of this softish lapidolite, then something a little bit harder, this agate, and then something much harder, this piece of jasper with iron or some kind of metal in it. If you're wondering what's covered all over this table, it's catlinite, also known as Minnesota pipestone. My grandfather makes chanupa and other sculptures and such out of the material, and this was living at his house for a long time, and it is just covered in the stuff. The only thing difference between the cuts now and a year ago is I'm using water. Don't be like me, use oil. If you don't use oil, you could probably void your warranty or whatnot. Who knows, but yeah, that's what we're doing. Here's the lapidolite. Little chippage there, but I was flying, so nobody's fault. This material is also like very prone to fracturing. Gotta love the pink. Anyway, now we will cut the agate. Again, some chippage from pressing too hard and moving too fast, but that's my fault. Still cut very nicely on that original blade. And last but not least, we will cut this larger and harder metallic jasper stuff. I'm not sure what this is. This was given to me by my good friend Steve Kopeski. I love metallic material. Alright, I took my time on that cut. Pretty cool stuff. A little metallic-y. Very cool. Anyway, folks, this is the Highland Park 6-inch trim saw. I highly recommend it. It's a total beast. This saw blade has paid for itself several times over. We cut thousands of pieces on that. She deserves a cleaning, that's for sure. Get all this catlinite out of there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you were thinking about getting this Highland Park saw, it's definitely a keeper. And it'll pay for itself many, many, many times over many generations. Anyway, this is Lapidary Dave. I love you folks. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.